Don't go there. Don't. Why is it in from home? I go inside the open TV and Swatoro. Share. Don't go there. Don't. Why is it in from home? I go inside the open TV and Swatoro. Share.
I think that this has been a test of our emergency readiness, and I think that you've performed commendably. Kotoka is a safe airport. We haven't had this kind of accident in many decades, and so I don't think it's anything to cause panic. I hear that aircrafts are coming and going, you know, at this thing. I want to, on behalf of the President, express the government's condolences to the bereaved, those who have lost their lives and their families. Government will try and do everything possible to try and ameliorate, you know, the disaster that has befallen them. And so I think the public should bear with the airport company and the investigation team as they try and unravel exactly what happened. I got a report about an air crash, and I spoke with the president, and the president has been on top of the situation, and he asked me to come and see how the accident emergency team is operating. As you know, when things of this nature happen, the president is on top of the situation, and so I came out. I'm happy with the work that has been done. The accident scene has been cordoned off. It will need to be investigated to find out what happened. There should be no early conclusions. We need to know the type of aircraft, if there was any mechanical problem, what happened, and so no early conclusions should be drawn. I'm happy that you've issued the first press statement informing the people about what's been happening, because there have been a lot of wild rumors going around, including the number of people dead and, that it was a passenger aircraft and all that. Yeah, so unfortunately there have been deaths, and any deaths that occur from an accident like that is regrettable. And so I urge everybody to do his best. The accident investigation team should visit the site as quickly as possible, and if they need external assistance, they should let government know so that we can ask friendly governments with the capacity to come and help to find out exactly what happened. It's good news that the airport is still operational, but I do think that there will be some inconvenience to the public as a result of the fact that it crashed through the wall and went across a major road. And so let's try and conduct preliminary investigations as quickly as possible so that we minimize the inconvenience to the general public. But definitely I'll ask for the general public's patience and tolerance so that this can be investigated properly. So if tomorrow you wake up and Elwak Road is still not open, just tolerate it for a little while until things are established as to exactly what the problem is.
Abuzafo mwachi bi mu akwa bi mu wo hu se eja NKB ka daroma ma hye matare tuntum Ghana ene abima nyina etwadwadwo ni nyina ne se plane crash ya si o man mu ha na no memre da na dwebra ne nso to nipa du enam so mo ato na nanu mo se do na de chie ya nso anti asempa o Nigeria enipa be se oha ne edu nu miensa 153 na omo ato na nanu mo se do so de no eka edu na ekoso ha no a wa betime bu nkuntan mass no ankasa onim ena no pe mu achi bi mu akwa ba brass se de mpensempensem mu to aso ende ohun se mfoni a ekoso won kran na plane te hwe Ghana for be hwe adefo apensempefo pools wo mo kwa akọhwe oh Ghana for ye penhwe dodo na nkwanhia si na nsuo to na plane ate ato na wo yes atete egu form na amanfo nsuro hwe na wo mu pu go hwe niema ye de honsfoni be san bre obiem nyina na ekokoba ye de bre na nyina no ye nkaa ye nyina ebo aba ho se ye be ne den aeroplane ye nka se ebetime gya mutena ti se wonya nkwanhia wo be ka se ka wo ntena bi mu da anaze nsuo afa wo ba ka se nsuo hunum bi mu da enye de abenu nsuo enye de abetena kam enye de abetena aeroplane mu na koba ne sa niema ben na Ghana emse ni kasem ne se emergency services no wo ya ade pa which say atorenche between a yempenifo na krado but enkomodi e badwendwen ene anopay so na senior persons in government suspended Ashanti ECG boss not Mills urakoko anyi ho na de tuja na free saw this answer me tuja na Ministry of Information so the official press release betuja say President Mills enkaso yi obi edi no abe ensem de ja manfo bisa say nti aban pa no why na in charge president analysis nkrofo bi na etwa ne wahia na omo ye ne omo pe enkoma ebedi ni nyina Black Stars boy course na no fiada nwumre na nkane adum ewo flood light nim isanse stadium ho nyina ho na nkane ho ene ye nkoma ebedi ena no pe President Rawlings akodi June 4th anniversary na enra ewo applaud na mo be ka na nanu mahemfo ye be ma ne ma ye ma ne ma ebe ma ne ma ebe ye nsem de ja enra okoye wo se aban no se ni de omo hyede chim omo atamenam so metimi apie pa no de a yese June 4 valley so omo san kwa akofa ensem o mampenda da Rollins wasan etim we ni nsem ayedwendwen ho na no pe text messages 1760 ana Facebook hwe o multi TV world and afin so no obetimi atro me email kaba@majonline.com na no pay 24 any omo atena se dwendwen nsem wo Theophilus Teteshai na hye bedwani wa ndisi mu ewo Ablikuma Central obani atena se opani mu ache mu akwaba you heard him so ram and question ma fanti akwamrahye bedwani wo MPPD mba be kan sa sesia na yenko plane crash site cargo village efamu abepie baby a hard village no no na yensan yi ema obiem na say wante unim nya akoso wo mem ha no dia aeroplane ya fa niema friend cargo plane betihwe menam so ma baby ese wo kosie ni nyina no to fome mo opia bonten ma 207 yanam ne baby okobo no ma nipa du ano mom wo nyina mu we yenko ne yenko ne ekoso ofi Nigeria eba na insuo 20 no ebetihwe aeroplane no ene da ho no na ohwe sani na tabu ana ne tamani nyina no asese na ohwe bia ne tai bi atu akoto ba bi ne dia na arehu ye papa fire service for emergency services say Ghana omo ade ye papa TikTok ho a na mpanifo aduru ho dada omo edumjafo say ijabetom dia nanka ho no ano mo aso ano nti ohwe ne ekoso no a na chiso mo aduru ho dada ya na omo boa se ne be ya bambo ho nsem ne betimi akonkan afei na bambofo ene sojafo ni prosifo airport security Ghana Civil Aviation Authority ni mpanifo nyina kopie mu ho a omu nyina no na ade ba akọ a uguso ahwe wani behu Ghana fo a behade he so omu di mirika saa te sɛ ne obi di mirika di omatie empensempe apesempe tese yedwe wa he wo di tese ya na emwa we de opani bi aso kan wo se nanu yesi Kofi Wayo ne kai o se nanu odidi onovuta na yesi bombu bi apie onovuta ono ni wo sorry no oje na dua no obum yesi nkofo bi fi abonte o se yesi Kofi Wayo je na dua no oni o mo kwa kofa aduane na ansa no wapie ja yesi bombu on efi ho etije se Ghana for the pesempe ye pensam dodo just asemo ansi na manfo oti na no kwasi edai accident bi si owuni bajanche amanfo a omuso omo kwakotwa aba amanfo a omotwahye omo kwakohwe ka bi na mo no so hiri ofiri ata omuso ma nipa mienu so awu ho a ye pensam dodo na so hwe ambulance ni ade Allied Air yentie vice president is one the two ya
perform commendably. Kotoka is a safe airport. We haven't had this kind of accident in many decades, and so I don't think it's anything to cause panic. I hear that aircrafts are coming and going, at this thing. I want to, on behalf of the President, express the government's condolences to the bereaved, those who have lost their lives and their families. Government will try and do everything possible to try and ameliorate, the disaster that has befallen them. And so I think the public should bear with the airport company and the investigation team as they try and unravel exactly what happened. I got a report about an air crash, and I spoke with the president, and the president has been on top of the situation, and he asked me to come and see how the accident emergency team is operating. As you know, when things of this nature happen, the president is on top of the situation, and so I came out. I'm happy with the work that has been done. The accident scene has been cordoned off. It will need to be investigated to find out what happened. There should be no early conclusions. We need to know the type of aircraft, if there was any mechanical problem, what happened, and so no early conclusions should be drawn. I'm happy that you've issued the first press statement informing the people about what's been happening, because there have been a lot of wild rumors going around, including the number of people dead and that it was a passenger aircraft and all that. Yeah, so unfortunately there have been deaths, and any deaths that occur from an accident like that is regrettable. And so I urge everybody to do his best. The accident investigation team should visit the site as quickly as possible, and if they need external assistance, they should let government know so that we can ask friendly governments with the capacity to come and help to find out exactly what happened. It's good news that the airport is still operational, but I do think that there will be some inconvenience to the public as a result of the fact that it crashed through the wall and went across a major road. And so let's try and conduct preliminary investigations as quickly as possible so that we minimize the inconvenience to the general public. But definitely I'll ask for the general public's patience and tolerance so that this can be investigated properly. So if tomorrow you wake up and Elwak Road is still not open, just tolerate it for a little while until things are established as to exactly what the problem is.
His Excellency Vice President John Dramani Mahama and Etingano. Ovani, none of me that medium or why young Clover just so say or now for near deal. Madame Fusuja name your airport or Niger or frame. Best 5 minutes time. A few later, not course, no shots are nearby. Say anything is you. You shall say, TV so near the TV3 phone started so many visuals. GTV na fe metro mini ade nyina ebem na wohwe sene ade ni sie me concern your brafo be kase me concern pa me help pa any Ghana for a se BBC say no a yetumirika omo pohwe yokohwe na so we say omo ko pense mu am go bie mu aba mu atutu ne nan chese ade ne yete sa suban bi we mu na ade ne yete sa.
Well, I know there. My name is Abia. Your culture no, and still away. Mom say it you know. Your gathering. Abia akoko bi won mo be frɛ in kwada no munya be gunu ho. Na Abia storyteller na say nti say na si bobo amanfo no de yare de bia ye nimpa. Na answer metua so na wo say me chia. Me consensus for Abdulkuma Central and Ram call Soku. Many residents and Nyanko Mobi, Bonko Mobi or Honomo. The Domasi, any reception of the mammy. Sanson and Mechia, me mammy back on Donkwa, Anti Christi, Donkwa Government Hospital, and also Tighty program me pa. Tanope Michia Munina, a more muso and pay a moshe a Boji Jumedi, a Damunyanasi, any support a Modema Multi TV. Munkoswa Munshe Munto Digibox will be Antobi. Careful. I think so programs now. Programs now yeah. Programs in the day. Let me I can say the move for.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the media ni American say enya dia I was say yet trust we yes anyama no. Because sometimes you know nan say Mikai say na oil I say, say gas oil, say petrol. A go one of the areas, a industrial area. Our man for the bucket, any bottles, sisa. A JP Koto Honuma, or more, sir, a nina, Ubi Abeshi.
Last year,
even petrol tanker.
Tanker bit tea. My mom for Koso Mukakos, I need Jatum. Yeah, Nipa on you know, in fact, but I'm saying Ghana for especially petrol tankers no omunya accident e wo kwan so sana bon villages na e wo kwan no no instead of obi abekọ na chi mom no nkofo afa bucket ebi mo kuta bottles omo ba besisa fuel okay the last time helicopter bi atito e wo your friend say your friend mo say is it for example then see here na villages and crossing for na wo no na soldiers in edwane mom no na mo de mo ko ho akohwe nti attitude bi a you need a lot of education e wo ho enya de pa e wo say nyina yesua accident scene esia e wo say nyina yetwe ye ho efi ho no na ye ma nkofo a omo ye qualified and say omo kra sa expertise no omo nko sa de ho sa na bebre even sometimes yetumi say accident scene and I say robbery scene this anyamanyam as a result of amanfo a ombekọ no mo omudi omunsane omunan ebe fifa na nyama e wose bi a CID for member or cover crime scene na ni nyina na mo ase no enti me dem mesere say development bi a MD pass wetumi identify saade no
I was a to amophobia for say nyama say sia my ben accident scene because bibia betumi asi betumi aba ne say play here a crash betumi explode
I don't know one say because you have films you who planes te hwe na explode na eja to mini ade so still amanfo emmo hu nsuro he
na niesi ye no explode anka omo wo sa area mu ho nyina yeah because unim even cargo I was playing mu say nyama ye explosives umunim o wa there nti the best Ghana for say sometimes nyama sa dangerous esia my ben o wa there at the end of the day no ye be ye nyina be hwe ne course oh but e be one say amanfo free temani the mo faka omo ba be hwe o wa there no kaswa aha oh
Omati dey station Omati station e o kaswa so omo ba ewa aba be play at ya
yeah because you say cry now play ni esi on mu unim ne ekoso wo inside e betimi
I explode
yeah ntina fire service for no so
ajiwo
ehia no wo wade no na amafo e fi omufie mu bad danger sport no but ade baako a me dey say the national fire service for no we actually say resources are aban ade amomo no ehu aba mfaso pa because we share within the shortest possible time na omotumi etwa plane no ehia no ade kese e wose nyina ye bo national fire service for no about any emergency service or more provide emergency services in about so say at least yetime hu say in terms of professionalism no ebi I start to say ba na jumedi omodi memma no enkosi wo hono mu a omo nkoso na omo improve omo services na yentumi NCC nyama sai ano mpempi say hu dan bi na ehia na say government property bi na ehia na national fire service no my helpless omuntumi nya hwe ya arehu yie but say no at least abanda room mo gadgets in terms of emergencies no omutumi e de bobo mo ano kakra no nkire say aban engina e wo ho no ma yen continuously no yen san emuom yen to tonyama ni bebre emuom because say tools no wo ho no ma definitely on be performing enti ye bom abaso soldier for no any police for nyina omko bu crime scene no ye bom nyina abaso because omo ndu ho no at the right time nanka dan share anka nko ko aba ko luti nyama na wo play
I'm saying no na man professor because na ni padro na nim say play na TVS anima apaya memu nyama na to agu ti obi akosi say bi adufru obi akwa pe bi but ora ma kwasi ama mrashi bedwani ni ma fanti akwa aba be kan opani mu akwa aba wo se ka so afo artist station amode ko
amode ba accident scene
but multi TV etimi akọ any pilot na wo ka plane no akwa akotwe nkomo enche ibeya ama enche kra ibeya ama enti bomodi ana tem kuchu omapani su ko ho ne ade but opani amakwese ama ne asie no emse question ye nya asie awie na aban so 5 member committee a ya momo na adua asase omo ifanye nhwehwemu aben form aben wo adupremu akontum ne ade na ade ba kwa na mebiso rat shine ne Ghana for ankasa se bibi atorenche bi se esia ya ho boa ye hwe senior ya mfonia no we say fast so bo modern ye papa but dey ba ko ni say enya sie na manfo ekọ no nya no nko a tanko bi tihwe na oye tugu a na manfo ne eja tumpo ye hwe aden na Ghana for sa de no we ho sa na ye be den eja sa de no sa su no
yo me da se kawa me fa kwenye so na me chia wo mo hwe nyina ni titu ene fante akwafo kaba yampa se saa ne ma no ya de a ha adwene wo Ghana fo afampa na mame nkasam kitu bi yeso no se na Ashanti crew bi ye ho na me start school e fra na chance asante achim na ye firu ano se wote se bibi ye ne se upia e ma bi obebo no tumi kura hwie nso hye gu so e na o kan story bi kire yen say oni odi nachi na oba na onyinsen e na o te say yesi ye obi abone yiri tu e wo krom wa che tete no na ni nua ba no pie so okohwe pie pepan
no so di
no so papa me no bo ntu enti se pa se bibia gi bum a ofisa afie no ma obetumi pie so okohwe bi de atwam e de sa ma akaye nyina ho so sa de na yade a ehu pa te se hwe tanka kra tumi nya accident na nkurasefo na nipa ben ho no obia de ne chansen ana ne gallon na okosa bare ne ade na okosesa eje tumi se etom se bum ahye nipa bebree o akwanhoro bebree so plane say saa na betumi nso aye efise ade no eda fom obia nim bra betumi bibi betumi amana pai because obia nkomu obia nkoye access ni bibi ehun se ebia entumi mpa na bibisa enti dede ye ni huye ni kwaye ko accident scene temtem no eya na ehun enti esre Ghana for adwuma ye nso nipa ni adwuma nso ya na ka obi eni hwe enti bibia bia na say artist station fika so ko okohwe keke obi ko jan no atwa picture oh yeah
and na say I be more fast wo
photographer bi say nko wedding bi but obi friend say omra ko no sika wanya no enye sika to ko wedding na say kra yes obi apese atwa picture that is the point na ni America so kakra so any driver for ya na ntemo aye pe etwa yemfefo ho a mu di anim no ene saa bre ya nsuo tutu awiem aye kusu yi eya na driver for yento yembo kakra na entempe bebre ne ha adwene so obeka ya mame na odi kan no hu se efom ye gigigigigi no opake ntemtem na kai ya ekoshia that is the point eyifa no na taxi no so eyifa no yesre sese enipa hunu kwam enti ewiem ayekusu kakra enti se odi afidie bi echi anaka bi echi na se ejina eda se bi oma ebinum atwam ana ono odi kan no wahu bibi enti na wagina enti yesre eya na moma yentu yembo kakra na emse yetu yembo kakra enema bebre betumi asi akwamu a ebetumi abọ ho bindan se edi hu ye kwaba no yesre ha adwene pa won so a won ahwe won ade hye no ebefa kwanya nsu na yama wonyina ahye ne na ya ka kire won se won hye den ya nso oye den a ebeyi na emum no committee no ate wo mu no na memma enkoye committee a yate a emfa international standards emaye adwuma se de Ghana fonti alopre kum nipa na se ha no obi ma no sika ketu abi kura enye hwe Ghana fonti da bi omu fa international standards nye adwuma pepepepepepepe na afi yesre sisika no so ba de to aban anim omo modia se enkoye Gambia case ni bi yenkoye yi on red carpet na sika no mu over 80% enko na enkohwere na abusuafo a ye omo ahwe wo mo kra ye bebre wo ye mofra wo mo ko school ebinum a omo so omo wo yerenom ebinum a omo nware ye nipa so to ewu wo da busuam anko wo be ye busua yi ene wo ye wo hwe busua ne yesre we nya ban yi ye wia omfo obia kakra obenya no omfo na de ma no na se koye te se Gambia de ne bi dia ene na che se ye mobo pa enti yesre eno nso aban onhwe no onhwe ni yi na ye ma ya akonso ene wo ye ahwere wo ya dishi
na sa story kane mampani Jerry John Rollins o call applaw o kan watem plane at here no o kan watem o say pilot no e inexperience because pilot nso ato na obesi runway na no ko si mfimfin ansa won so speed e so ayetro ne ade nyina but yenko na multi TV any pilot and or can play at TV no akwa akodi nkomo yenko tie na ekọ so.
What can I say? Well, just give thanks to God. We landed during the heavy rain, and like I keep saying, our Vision Palace is known as aquaplaning. We landed all right, but the airplane just will not stop. We try everything possible to keep it on the runway, but just keep going, and we went up the runway, and the rest is history. But we thank God. Yeah. And I want to seize this opportunity to express our condolence to those that lost their life. It wasn't this an accident. Fortunately, we are not even aware of that until when after we got in here. We are really deep. We were really very sorry about that.
Exclusively, multi TV. Now, pilots are not complaining. So, by this time, Allied Air, cargo plane, a Nigerian plane. Now, former President Rawlings, Mama Kai, and the Odia Tuja was asking me, or say, former President Rawlings says he was not surprised to hear that a plane had landed at the Kotoka International Airport over the weekend. In his opinion, though the incident need not have happened, poor judgment and poor skill on the part of the pilot led to the tragedy. Speaking at the 33rd anniversary of the June 4th celebration, which took place at the Victoria Park in Alajo, the former president himself, a seasoned pilot whose plane landed shortly before the accident occurred, said the pilot could have chosen not to land due to the bad weather conditions. According to him, similar challenges were faced by the pilot who was flying the plane he traveled on, but his pilot, experienced enough, was able to bring the land to safety. Quote, the weather was such that it was going to be a real test of experience. I'm a pilot and I know about these things. You don't know how good a pilot is until there is an emergency. Former President Rawlings, and now this has been Tuja. And everybody ain't there anyway. We know to be no this thing. But what they on any the other Tuja pilot, Nasam no the two okay Kambuma. How do you place a friend?
Well, it is a normal driving a driving a car. Then you know, say answer over 100 can maybe over driving school a bachelor, but apart from the bachelor driving school, yeah. So now also be used to unyansa na nyankopon the amount no e wo kwan no so ehia. Sometimes we cannot play muna some of the pilots on landing. With them who say landing the major test. Planes ni bi wo hono mu a landia wa hwe o sisi kura be ye oya. Ebi mu so landi kura hu say o ma landi bro. Nti no kura say sometimes experience. Na at the time I plane Babel landing na nsuo no na anu aye di pa.
Na top up. In fact, definitely there's a report on Reuters news agency. A report say ni enti akoba asa ni nyina ne say na nsuo ato na airport runway ni so no omo holes nsuo togu so ananom. But time I be landing na Saturday ni nsuo atogu so a na nsuo no da so nti also what we know for now that it was raining at the time and the plane landed in a pool of water, and that created some challenges for the pilot.
Ebia mo apply brakes no to me. But at the back so it's na music can say one landi ewo runway na Orlandi wo me. And no nyina actually say there was some form of poor judgment on the part of the pilot no. Ebia na ye say on landi mo landi bo wan there no. Nti wanya area no papa eno so ebetimi a possible cause na civil aviation penye no so ka say ono no anya so person say investigation but ono feel say nsuo na ewo no so no na cause here but kaba accident yi ama ade bia mehu a me pese me kan sem de bia ana me de betudwa ye airport no I was say bibi wo.
In fact, and all kind graphic report quickly. And on attract my attention in the original story bi so a Ghana panin bi a wa bin ye papa was say we need a new airport.
Oh, okay.
Story filed by Albert Salia. I say an aviation expert, Dr. Kofi Hinaku, has said that the Saturday's cargo plane crash in Accra should serve as a wake-up call for the construction of a new international airport. To accommodate the heavy-duty aircraft currently patronizing the Kotoka International Airport. He describes as unfortunate the accident which occurred and claimed 10 lives, which had led, who had nothing to do with the aviation, but suffered from the lackadaisical attitude of aviation authorities. Commenting on Saturday's accident, Dr. Hinaku, an aviation and space law consultant with BH Solicitors in London, says the accident could have happened any time before now. He said but for the professionalism of the institutions and expertise of the authorities in the aviation sector, including pilots, the country would have witnessed many of such accidents. He said if a risk assessment of the airport were to be done, it would be established that the airport, with a high level of heavy aircraft and international flights, should not be sited there because it was in the middle of the city. Dr. Hinaku said relocating the airport did not mean a closure of the Kotoka International Airport, but it should be used to serve as domestic airlines, private jets and helicopters, whilst an international airport located about 45 minutes drive out of Accra was built to handle heavy aircrafts, including passenger and cargo.
Yeah, I totally agree with suggestion now, opinion raising. In the sense, me too quite be mum. Nenso kakrabia metuno. Kaba, who arrive work to International Airport, I won't say I are who pa. Won't say in terms of infrastructural development, you know, you will chili papa. To say, but in terms of competence, in terms of safety, you know, we are judged as one of the best. In fact, you one of the safest airports. OSHA report, you know, senior papa no analyze the issues now. Ampa, your aviation experts, your pilots are use wahanu no. Won't say omukra expertise, you know. And no na etumi aboye up to this time, no. But apart from sa expertise, no ni human resource nyamanyama ya wo ni nyina no. It was say you're matching with infrastructure. Because you're matching with infrastructure. In fact, you bet me one of the best safest airports in the world. Inti, you say very capital intensive. And I say, I did be our person we are just cap year pa na. About bet me a partner with any your friends
private sector.
Private sector, it be a build, operate, and transfer. I think these days, you know, only one of the fastest way of trying to, say, to me, any interma. Yeah, build, operate, and transfer. Now, you pay a partners be a, or to me, I'm my modern international airport. A bit to me, allow a lot of aircrafts. To me, Alandi war airports. Now, it be a location also. It was a share location. They're very important because Uko Amanonumbi now share. So no structure mo airport now. The plane in Landi war there's a problem. Cry. A distance be greater than anymore. But when no Kotoka International, there's no space. Well, it's a woman say. That is it. Well, we share distance from Cargo Village Honumu Ediba Airwaka. It's just a short distance. And it's plane missing around we are. Definitely. Or the back now, yeah, Daniel Kupans say it wasn't at a time of traffic very heavy. And can you see no any nuclear?
When you now, we have pilot in some more kind near Dr. Hinakui kind of the bomwa Ghana, Yenisha Dunium. And Pennyfo Monam Hermes, Masibuja for an executive near the Mubashasi Adrian who said, "You see, could see a portfolio." I down for 10 was assassinated. I'll try. It's me, Bisana.
I'm so on aviation planet, the Omo Bisa. So better cry, Bisa Kododo, Bisa Coin. Dear, I doubt a cry. A cool school in say, Yabisi a portfolio, Dodo, one day. Inti, and the M say Ghana or plan Bisa, but near the Bia can Sikavenia de Coy. Inti, yes, it's an eye opener when we go through problems like this. I will be able to say, oh, this way we a clear problem. Solving it, so be able to say you could see airport to be near the whole cabane genuine. So be able to say you deserve a new airport because the old banner on Namso na share a danya on Namso now be say, in this BBC say, let's say, yes, here. I will call other countries, but to come be brave. But airports be brave no. And we see the outskirts of the city airport on one. Now, if you offer a train and I say of a car, now bus, now why they would the a cook room. Say, and we be na so I was say, or more chain or any maybe brew who share Ghana resources. You walk past here managing year building an airport within a matter of 2-3 years and kanya dia a chain so na pilot na some kind no em say me de me sheda ne nya adwene bia me de o man pani da Rollins de no ye dwuma pa e de che say inexperience e wo ho but sometimes so you have to be savvy adwuma o ye no you have to be dealt into you have to have enough ability also to me who say na what say happen in so to the bia also land somewhere in the middle of the runway which is not right to say yeah kaka ya we because the driver no because me bo break so e do ho na nsom
but I tell you be see
so na ka sakura time
na ebi nso wo wachi o na ebi nso wo wachi a omo de omutumi boy a chi eno ne difference no inti yesre pilot wakasa de yemfa
but before you go so FM so call 1760 Facebook multi-TV what
as a result of accident so I was say airport authorities no planes in Kitikiti airport no was almost show me pa.
Okay, but for Mami call Deputy Minister of Transport, Mami Jifa Tivoni in Nkomo Accra. Mrs. Ativo, thank you very much for joining us and good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much for joining us. Now we know that a committee has been set up, a 5-member committee, to look into the reasons for the plane crash last Saturday. Apart from that, what else do we know about this plane crash, madam?
I didn't quite get you. If you can come up again.
I was saying that we know as at yesterday that a 5-member committee has been set up to look into why the plane crashed last Saturday. And I was asking that apart from the setting up of the committee, what else do we know about this plane crash?
So as a layman, I will have to wait for the committee's report to let me know exactly what took place. So I'm not in a position to say anything beyond what the committee will be submitting in 30 days.
But do we know if the death toll that we already know as 10 has increased or has stayed at the same level?
No, as at the close of the day yesterday, it was confirmed that 10 passengers on the 207 bus lost their lives. And as at yesterday evening, 8 of them had been identified.
Okay. But, Mrs. Ativo, one issue that is coming up, quite strongly is the fact that this is an international airline, a cargo airline, which crash landed, causing destruction of property. Not going into why the plane crashed, do we have compensation packages for those who suffered death as a result of the plane crash landing?
Yes, I think we should wait for the committee's report. If the aircraft is insured, why not? Yeah. So let's wait for the report with their recommendation what to do.
And as we wrap up on this interview, are there plans of establishing a new airport? Because that's a suggestion coming up from industry experts.
Yeah, we are trying to secure a land around the Pram and for future development of an international airport. Because you know that the current airport has been overstretched. There are a lot of encroachers, even though we are coming after them as soon as the title deed is ready. We'll come after all those encroachers and make sure they relocate to clear the area for aviation safety.
But we don't know exactly when the new site will start developing.
No, the process is ongoing.
All right. Mr. Ativo, I want to thank you very much for your time and good morning to you.
Thank you very much.
Mrs. Jifa Ativo, Deputy Minister of Transport, and Yetin and Kano. Moving on to other issues, and I pay already text messages about your next 2 issues I can find to us. President Rawlings had applauded 33rd June 4th anniversary, and I think senior government officials, Nasumami, President Mills, Nasumami, and we come June 4th, 1979, na Ghana for ebi eto omo baby bi omo etwa bi onkonkon nua se etwa bi omo mudi nkomo omo da mudi nkomo ahomache yete ya na ene a ene yete ebie mu a kane mapani Jerry John Rawlings kasai 1979 June 4th na yenko tie 1979 sema kane mampani Rawlings ni tuja na utie wi a na yebo ene de enso kirewa na de atoto ho ahwese that man Jerry John Rawlings former president no wasisa for 33 years oba eye omen amanyo semu ana na ne nsem odi tudwa saa bre no o de toto ne de ho asa ne tia na sensakaya bam niema ntia na so ma June 4 by probity accountability social justice equity ne niema no saa bre no a odi tudwa ne wo se NDC afiri ho no sen na ete o de toto ho a ti sen na ebekọ di ama na yewi a yebisa mpanifo se baby a o se NDC abeduro ya o so mo atamnam di ai na ditch so mbekaya ebra call 31st December Women's Movement omo anniversary what the kotudwa say the president and the government lead this country into an abyss but then no ade ne de atudwa wie say we are already in a ditch enkoye but e fa baabi so o say na we no mo say nanado ejimi ni omo zungudumi ya na no ye nkomodi a abawo mu na yenko na yenko tie nkomodi e koso June 4, 1979.
Fellow officers, if we are to avoid any bloodshed, I plead with you not to attempt to stand in their way, because they are full of malice, hatred we have forced into them all these years of suppression. They are ready to get it out, the venom that we have created. So for heaven's sake, do not stand in their way. They are not fools. If you have any reason to fear them, you may run. If you have no reason to feel guilty, do not move. Like I said, they are not fools. The judgment will come on. Bamakan will be our meeting place today. Nicholson Stadium will be our meeting ground. Meanwhile, this is what will take place in every unit outside Accra. All units are to elect their own representatives on the new Revolutionary Council that has come to replace the Supreme Military Council, which is no more. The NRC is no more, and the Military Advisory is no more. Council is no more. The Ghana Armed Forces will be handing over to the civilians in due time. The elections will still take place, but before the elections come on, justice, overdue justice which has been denied to the Ghanaian worker, will have to take place. This, I promise you, some of us have suffered for far too long. You are either a part of the problem or a part of the solution. There is no middle way. Now, I do not expect all senior officers to take to their heels the way they normally do. We know those of them who are honest, some even among the SMC, the NRC, and the MAC. We know them. So for heaven's sake, do not run away. Be the man that you are, and come to work. Come to Bamako. Nicholson Stadium will be our meeting ground, where our elections will take place. Natural leaders who are watching out for our welfare will be elected. If you think you've watched out for the welfare of your subordinate, you have no reason to fear. Natural leaders will now emerge, not those imposed on us. Meanwhile, the fellow citizens and Bishop, or is it Bishop Elisa and Serpent, are to report to Burma camp. The following civilian citizens, that's Mr. Kenneth Upper and Captain Bati Jan, Major Mensa Poku of Malta, Captain Hoppenbauer, Captain Kwanzaa of 2 Brigade, Captain Kwashiga, Lance Corporal Mike Atinga, Lance Corporal Ansa Atiomo, Squadron Leader Dabbe, Lieutenant Nyantechi, Lance Corporal Dasiru, Corporal Bateng Owusu, Lance Corporal Sakwade, Warrant Officer Obeng of Reiki, Corporal Jack Mahoney, LAC Gachiko, Corporal Aodo Insia, Sergeant Alan Cash. I say again, let no man attempt to run away. If not, there will be further bloodshed. It is not necessary. This country can iron out its problems without the anticipated bloodshed. If you do stand in our way, obstruct us, then there will be. And for heaven's sake, there will be too much of it, because it's long overdue. Thank you. Further announcements will come later. Meanwhile, citizens are to carry on with their normal duties. Fellow officers.
Well, 1979, we are down memory lane. Before when you fee kakra na sabre no mo akasa no ma wo mu fie no de a boom say boom na wote papa ni sa no a 1979 we me do call abakose mu kakra but 1979 now we
pese mi bo mi eja
na o da bi me ka so bo we 1979 now we
1979 satana mo otema me did 6 years
the ote wante
was it
ote cry no it's relevance and impact no
yeah but
well nyane papa
yeah no
okay
no. At the age of 6 years
to was already 79 now
No secondary school.
Him fa
No secondary school. Intimate mate. Na me nyi bebre ba mate.
And na ote sa ni 33 years ago eto say
Oh bibi titru bia nsheda ensesa wo bia e de chese sene o kasa ne the vim he uses to speak and all that kind of thing is still with him on relinquish bibia ne of old. He is of himself. That is how he was born, and he is like that, and he will continue to be like that. If at this stage, to me sustain the vim of how he speaks about social issues, and just still Ojana.
Minim say 1979. Now what him fa? I don't know this is. That what him fa? But ye ababeto enkomodie na no. But odie no etoto ene ne some kind this is already in the ditch because omo movie away from the core values of June 4th. Yeah, you're born in a chair na social justice, equity, accountability, probity ni on kroneba no a. O se mo luso awie. O se say na mo be pa de mo luso awie. Na se mo no waka ka mo hu ni so ono mom no e problem.
Yo, me ekaba me dance. Ex-president ono so chire na adwen. In 79 na me ni hono. Nanso yɛno binom yɛkɔ school no nyinaa no yɛ believe ana yɛ ideals no nyinaa ɛyɛ nyama a June 4th ɛde bae probity, accountability, equity, and social justice. I think some principles here, principles be a amamu baby first principles on editunu so a edimpuntu enebeba. Nti minji ndi say omo mu believe in the June 4th uprising the crown no. Some principles no there ade bi a obi agitum say principles bi a in government, in governance no. I was say nyina yen kaketi sa principles no. Na ya ade bi a nyina ya di bo day to day activities ho ban a ebema mpunto bebre ebeba. But say principles no ene enye adwuma ana say aba form no eno be depending on barometers ana say senia ye nyina yesi hu nyama si esi ko wo hwe ex-president Rawlings a sa adwin study say or experience sa adwin enye ne at the time madam for your office President Kufuor our office not my no based on the June 4th principles no ohun sa nyama no se no no sipe
opani ma me fa sa se mi tu just say ania reports I pick here from Nakpanduri e kire se yenuanum konkoma for any bimobas omodi abom den ya etuto ne ade ekoso ho na ya ade a yeguso aye hwe se yebenya emunsem no mu nchiremu ye na etimi eti konkoma for ni bimoba for Nakpanduri so omodi abom ma ani nyan etuto ne ade ekoso ho no enya ade kito opani
ya ne ebesere ni se ampase sa na ekoso ho no ma ehun hia se ebefatuo obi befatu bi no de esi ni nyonko so se problem bi aba o se omuma security services no asonti na mo hwe kwan so a mo bepema sa situation no yetumi asolve sa situation ebe papa cho so say the security services no intama mo fa munan ensi ho no na immediately no omo masa ne ekoso ho no anonju bro na anko escalate ansanko nye problem bi be nyina na yeko June 4th issues na America no say principles na ex-president Rawlings de bia o de tu dwano principles bia e wo say ye nyina yesom de ya brabo
but o say yesom na mo o say party mu moja we na mo som o say moja ho
eno de na America say eno no ono so na adwen o kire because as subo na the ball MPP when they were in government
MPP form believe in the principle.
No. It's not about June 4th. No, not June 4th. It's in American say the issue is not about June 4th. The uprising, no. But then the issue is about key words, probity, accountability, social justice, equity. These are words meaning very powerful. As we a political leader. We will be our leadership more. Who decide no edi ye upuma edua ukra ebe boama edimpunto bebre aba because mpepi no se wo adwuma bi mu na se adwuma na wo ye no unye obi a o scrutinize adwuma na wo ye no se wo ye adwuma ni yi o se unye ni yi no wo be den na so se mechanism e wo ho no mu a etumi access se ni a wo ye no uya no we kwan paso anase enye kwan paso na ebeboa ma nsisan aba anase mpuntu so aba accountability bibia uya no o se utumi accounti me say no me a public servant me gina constituents ano me me ye bia resources bia ba me say bia no e wo say me ye accountable to omo a ye friends me do ma no enti accountability hu ehia equity sike bia as a member of parliament eba minsem e dey bu amputu ejuma no constituency na ehye minsem no enye one electoral area anameboa several electoral areas. How are you distributing resources no? How are you distributing development projects? When we there no enti equity ehun social justice ade bia ye nyina ye gitu
enti ene say ni nyina hu ya ade na NDC for mo free hu according to our president Rawlings.
He is our founder. And as a founder, no party no our principles. And ono as opinion and I say akokra wo fie no ono so be make sure say some principles no adhered to the highest your friend saying level wo wa there no and say ba say bia there na iba form all right say o kan hu nsem na yen so aye wo mu no wo say ye hwe nyama na o kan say how best as anyama no e betumi aso anu aye increase in terms of percentage ebema ono so nakuma ebeto na anase oman no akuma beto mu yem say
o kwa fla oni bi
o da bi miss mo me conscience am ye ejuma June 4th no baby a wo bia we say we celebrate
last year again dey okoi
we say
last year again
no last year dem man
mo ba be mo akobira how many times
oh just once
out of almost 4
years.
No,
normally no you see the year community activities we also share your party no emrana it's one of the days I was say year marking you see several because you be na betumi every all the constituencies akọ a voter region won there no but within your locality within your constituencies no your programs activities are the marking Saturday no we shall want say party mpanyifo no bebre akọ ebi mo so e marking no of various constituencies in any region nti activity bi a yen as a party no the jitum because principles na that June 4th na no principles bi a omemba bia efa ede ye juma ede mputo ebeba
ye hu NDC for company for a program na se
mu sheda ko twitwa
ye ni mpani for mu kasa o program na se
na ho mu say na o hwehwe say obehu
ora se edu nketia Dr. Kwabnaje mu ne ade ye hu mo
awo and say no de normal enye ni nyina no behu obi a ana me boa
obere amakwasi ama wo help baby a NDC abeduro kan man pani we hia da di kan 31st na no a omudi omu fish ada o de sa asem bi akoto sa bre no so omu carbis they say ndi so omu odechim ne fa baby kra no se na okoka se yezi na do kra bedi nkumuna na se na ne kwan so ani sense party nya de they say monya endorsement from Rollins ana
Rollins there say onu oyo omamba enye se Rollins o she that baby ye ne no ana ti oman once a while na oko ekoye ne dwuma na wasan aba nti tibia yewo mu sesi a ebinum aya te se de good ama no ono de oka mu nukre e kire se ohu asem no a oka oman no sesi a oman na ewo mu no ono a Rollins no a se kababa kaya o se Ghana is like Ghana is in a state of purgatory wohu oyaw a Ghana for fam sisi a punishment a ye fam ansana yesi Akufo-Addo regime num enti se oka on se first na papa yi me wanwa pa no pay me tin ne no on se na Akufo-Addo Rollins on time money din o ye campaign previously no oya was that Kufuor's friend
no say that short man
oya was that short man what is his name and then they utumi born na din ehun say na principles na o dey ba no enye ade ni vision ni enough from say what kind he reads a lot and I like that of the former president he reads a lot o ye references bebre ono ehun say Akufo-Addo team no ni vision no ade a ebetumi aboa Ghana so hwe okwan a aban we efa so corruption wo mu oka ho asem oka ho asem bebre ne omo to omo yiye nipa na people who could even rent a room previously a year or 2 or 3 they are living in mansions there he want to split his shirt out just a hanu on tell Ghana pa say de beto Ghana ni ne Ghana ono a ohwe grassroots no obi oho aduane kura ontumi nya bi ni na age so oba ono ebia ne fie na kache na obepe bibi kakra de tunu botom tese ohaw ne abebrese a nipa ehunu wo man mu sese se o compare ono baby a ote no enye eho na yen yati okaba obi a obedi o man so 19 years information a onya no enye bi ne enya na o compare besia pa ban ba wabo over 23 billion US dollars na oman ti se ya na ohwe sika yetuatua ma wayo minum sika enum ni ade na ohwe se ne oman yi kọ na ohwe te se CPC ka ye tuama no judgment debt and a negotiated debt or some information we no nyina
Omani we Mr. O mami twa na me ko na kwanduri mra former assemblyman Edema na kwanduri Alasan ewa homa no so Alasan, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Tell us what is happening in Akwanduri as we speak.
No, my response is in affirmative. There is that. You can even hear the background.
What is happening at the background? Hear the background? What is happening there?
There is an exchange. There is a war between Bimovers and Concombers. The Concombers attacked Bimovers and they have burnt Bimovers houses at Pumare, Nyana Panduri. They have almost burnt halfway of the suburbs.
What happened? What really happened for this clash to occur? What happened?
The crisis is irrelevant. It is just irrelevant. The Concomba chief reported and Kwanduri chief at Nigeria last week that he doesn't recognize his skin. And we don't know where he came with that notion. We are living as brothers all long. But since last year that they wanted a war. But, I mean, we were not interested. We don't have passion for war. But because they have passion, you can hear the background. They are firing. Yes.
Gunshots, but do you have the police and the military around?
Oh, those who are there cannot help. They cannot help. The military, there's a bunker. They came. I just saw their vehicle pass across the river, and the police. But I don't think they can help if there's no reinforcement.
Really?
Yes.
So, do you have any idea how many houses have been touched, as in has been brought down by fire?
No, I cannot. The houses burnt. They are so enormous.
What is happening to the women and children who are caught?
So, unless everything calms down before I can tell you the figure, but it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm even lying low.
So who are those who are firing the gunshots?
The Concombers.
And the B-Mobiles are not responding? Is that what you are saying?
Oh, yes, they have repeated because we are not ready for war. We are not ready for war. But some two of them are responding.
Do you know if anybody has died as a result of these gunshots?
Well, the way the place is, I cannot tell that it's a shorty. You see that?
Wow. Alasan, we'll come back to you. I'm sure we'll come back to you in a while, in about 30.
The place is in a total mess.
Wow.
So what appeal
wow. So, well, Alasan, thank you very much for speaking to us. We'll come back to you once again. Alasan Ena or Yetin kind of former assemblyman demand Akwanduri. So you okay the national security for minister program mo hepa. Nanu Michelle mo independence square. Mo na mo frame nam so cover a real program mi pa national security for. Nti mu nyina ye yonko for no mo. Yesremo. Na Akwanduri yesremo. Eho ena ye nyina yete asum gunshots. Papa, and then course go children. National security for Esremo. Larry Bevulo. Larry Ejumana Afe na sorry you. Afe na Ejumana sorry. National security. Demand to me and pick up signal say na the idea ba na is in tokwa. Na enipa na ebe wu keke. Wa hinsem nti. Eti any preemptive measures are. Eti national security ni bia na ni CID for mo kroma no. Information no ya munya na ase munya. Ana ya moda.
That is the point.
Hey.
So how are we living as a nation?
Ya brefo ya patro so obenya la igbavulo lata mamia. We ni afend na adwuma na so we ni friend national security. We ni friend national security.
Anani deputy kra.
Eti ha obo na bibia si akubia si na no ebisa general no mensa so mikra menti onyam na mbom amani aka menti. national security advisor. Who can want him this year? What's no more babecho? Open me too.
Yo, indeed, Mamen Kakakram for you and some because yes, national security.
What is it to
you say it here, na tea war phone.
When you tell about Freddie,
to papa. Na yes, national security. Na and any at has saying as a nation. Oh, that yeah, maybe who say peace and progress for other countries more. And just say there is a total absence of people who are not prepared, people who are not prepared to fight. There are people there prepared to fight, ready to fight, one more arms, but national security, one more presence. And now, how decided they are to make sure, say, Unipen to me fetu and tunkum ni yonkunipa. And BNI or district bia. Operatives who baby. A depend pa ne betumi si a yen nyina yenu say sa ho no a hot spot e soro baby at the international security ntumi devote to omo energy any omo services e wo na omo no modern say etuo pa de nke bi nto osoro a omo emfa omo ase chese ade ne ehu omo ye timu yes national security for enye din no keke na edwuma omo ye na ene be ma omo akire se omo dini ne omo ho se nti yesre omo ko na omo hwe ne ebesi hwe adan hu na ya hye no inipa emu kura hwe nkrofo adan ohia yi mu na osan besi dan yo omo be konti ye de no beto kaba former president di na meka no se wo hwe se de aye no a na edne but MPP nso uhwe mu a na utumi mu say party na omo te de dada Ghana for
NDC
yes so uhwe de omo preach omo philosophy
probity accountability and social justice omo de dada Ghana for Pambenso
oh yes that philosophy no a travesty of any good governance I'm telling you
say
she said the NDC yet no now the probity, accountability, social justice. Now, omo baye PNDC bar first. Omo account 47 and 44 bi enu ye hunu mo hwe. Omo baye efi PNDC abesi NDC first regime no. Kaba. State enterprises they sold over 320. We will see a probity, accountability and social justice. Omo baye enema bebre koso this is some ban and saying, yeah, Senka woman, omo philosophy no, esa. Anka shed the omo ye, in Sika to individuals, for one you misikai, receive PCK, negotiated debts, and a kahu rope bre aumatia. So, party pan, the omo kay, and one omo ye probity and accountability, omo ye. Sheni mahuro bebre president kura tumi be jan kasa ada no mabo mi dia bo sa e de be na maye mu Ghana for sometimes we no nya de chese ni amu preach ni no omo ye enye no na omo practice enti so mampani no dada no em se afei na timupo na wode boy na enye enu na omo ye hu adwuma na afei na ayi ni hu adi
da bi o se empanifo di party na anim sisi ano e na o mate o hu afiri saa hyehyɛ pa ono di go
omo ti omo firi ho ache omo ti omo firi ho no ache party ba say ni bebo so miensa kura no hu say enkoye say ota say enkoye hwɛ probity accountability social justice papa ya otisu sesi o say wonu no ho e Ghana for bo ne say okofa president o brazy ni nsa e wo suedru say ota say ne papa mu a social justice wo ho a ubetumi akopagya obi nsa ai binu mpese omo ba na omo de willingly no anka omo beba na omo do omo ho ato ne ato abama omo afa no akopagya ne nsa de na ba na se odidiwa afa na obeka se nia omo ye no nye no na oprichi mumye hwe ni ye ankrofo bi a omo ya omo adwene se omo de omo beka bia na omo nye bo omo beda nipa eno na ada di a papa ya fe de wo hu pefe se se party am ti ni amede ti ye no enye no kura na omo nam ho no so jase enti yesre Ghana for muntie wasopam na papa na sema o ka no papa obi kan se obeye a prophet ansa na wawu because some more can you know bam. Your can say when buy 3 months now no lose abano. After corruption, I walk a bayimu. Sabotage. Mediocre appointments are buying.
But with the Mincho no be I mean call Nakwando review who he has said you do about maybe I memory. DCOP to 4 regional police commander Edema northern region. DCOP now no pay multi TV bedrooms in the watching Wakaba. Me pacho we dey na no pay abo ananso nia ya tie e Nakwanduri ya ye ne amanfo atwen komo sisi a ene se etututo koso ho ye hyehyɛ amanfo dan na we dey emisa o na regional police mwate na anamuntu e wo ho ene sen
oh yate ne nra ai najo na entiye ne se yate se ebinu mo hyehyɛ nkofo no dan inti enu anajire ko ho but an operation yakọ ama soja for the police for ho ama isia nkofona na omu yesa ni ma no omatuwe muni review but yet so tubi to exit no akaka
this will be because yani assembly member kwatwe nkomo sisi a ba bia no wo no yeti tututu wo akire pa
ana me ba je se be bia kru no ayefe no enya nyankwanduri okru mu ayefe kru no amafi mali no na sa tutu sisi ano nkofo no mututu no omo adwane atowre ma but o makote wrem ba bi na tutu no but ni kru mu ha no mututu no
eti we de penifo mo hu so mo akote wrem mi mo ya ne de mo ko mo ha akoche wo mo ana
say a book the crew no my crew by one and protecting on her. Oh, no home by the airport, but room now to 2 dia. Now, Uncle Bo will be an anchor a young branching beer, you know.
Now, this will be a 2 back room, and any day.
I know, yes, a home by will be intimate from a crew view.
Enti Ghana phone ka akoma to yam se yenua no mo ho no sebe bambo ho nsem no ento ajeje mu bia
oh bambo ho nsem de ento ajeje mu in the sense ahano so na bi kakre bia na ntokwa sem asase sem is ahen 70 yeni ntimi ngo ba bia enti chance me be see but you bon ban say obi ohwe ne nkwa na japade bibre ensew
yo na DCOP more memma o men enough men and as me here reinforcement free Kumasi and Ankara
oh me patro enye nurusa yo asoja for kakra o police for kakra o nti you see it na body ban ho ban
yo DCOP na no pay multi TV Badwam ye da se papa
ye da se
DCOP George to 4 Northern Regional Police Commander Edema ta na yetin nkano na as a money convinced the answers no the man
some question be but one man ko me one kakra say nkofo bubutu Musi your friends and town ankasa de ma mo bo
also mutenwura
no mutenwura no mutenwura and what say bambo for no omuko no mo hwe na bibia na
bo kro no ho ban that's all it no also mo kro no ho ban
chief over casa and they say any wura mu baby because it is ufiare this uko amasama
anani o kan want to
want to say
David me tia say kaba enti krono mo
are no send you yi ma no because answer no dey ma me no me hu say na be say
bia na o pese
bia
obeda
and e be so security send bia na ko high tension
those in the security world no omo de ombeti de okan ya ba yen de yen tiase e de je say two factions eku na ebi no ko nye room omo tututu ba yet sound no okrum sa faction no Who say crow back on the next town also. If you want to make a into Nkuro, you know, bomb by no matter when you room. Nakruma, you were law be say been between your cotton room at the 2 diana. Eh, as if they are no, the M say or more security fund on better Casa by end.
Maybe a layman.
No
can be a Tiasian on, but me, I am Yaka Krabi.
Opening Pacho, we are June for the mammy.
You ain't near Mecca or June 4th. No one say the former president has said it all. Probity, accountability, social justice. No, it was defeated even before now. No, as they say, crowd you to say a top form cry. Near Ghana for. Umunyina umuntie wasupem NDC party no dynamic kind me say it's in a state of entropy say asumdwe nim or adija enyina ho enyina ne nan so momo moden na monje power no obi won so no power na obrea say ya na obeya because onim say power no opese free nsem na yemfa mana na akufuado no ni team no so yemebu o man na nka yenhwe difference aiwo na any president or ti o say difference as a adeɛ no yɛ mienu a na sɛ baako nko yi a wofa baako na sɛ baako no nso nko yi kura wetumi ato mienu no nyina egu mo mmɔden na nea former president yi kan mu ntie efisɛ adeɛ a ɛnyɛ no deɛ na sahye na
hyase
ɛnyɛ no no good action can spring from a bad one nti na ɔmo mfa man na emebu ɔman na kufu ado deɛ wɔyɛ krado ɔne ne team ane bawumia sɛ ɔmo de Ghana ɛbɛfa ɔkwampa ɛde bɛkɔ awie papa so asomdwe ɛdeɛ ebehu sɛ ebenya bi pa ma ɔmo nyina hu sɛ yɛwɔ nkɔso pam.
Your one last issue yes here the way ura kokwanyu do nsomode tuja na actually government so issue press statement say abai nim ho hwe na Ministry of Information press statement government has denied news reports that the president has fired Ashanti regional manager of the electricity company of Ghana in the wake of difficulties with the floodlights during the Black Stars and Lesotho World Cup qualifier at the Kumasi Sports Stadium on Friday night. A statement issued in Accra and signed by Minister of Information Fritz Bafo said the president had given no such directive and it was therefore not true that the ACG boss in the Ashanti region, Alaji Abdullah Kura, had been fired. Now, answer no, na remember that our news file so say director Ayakadwa yanko tie somewhere course you repair na fe any penny for the akona we na fe yetimi e dia to aso text messages about na fe yemfa enko na fe when you phone me fa any account aso. I thank God for adding another year to my years. Jadmakon David and ode eno ede ebreng no or say of Methodist Model School yawo Himan Idra. Or say yeah, how are you this morning? You look so beautiful. Kaba okay, that's it. Kaba also look handsome. What man by Nana? Or say I can't get Adom FM on my multi TV. Patro risk scan over risk scan ya obenya. Ghana spelled Nigeria will be them 7 in 1957. Jerry and so difficult by 2 p.m. bless some of our Tamils as Santimampong. Or say if it's June 4th, if it's not June 4th, okay, whether June 4th, no June 4th, victory is for the great party, NDC, amen. Or say, Nana, in fact, thanks for putting a smile on my face. I'll start this morning, but you made my day. So, my birthday, Jadmakon again, in the Defia chance, in the buy. Or say from Mr. Anthony Okran, I wish my wife, Charlotte Nima Aka, 1 year anniversary marriage from Draban, so, you know, the buy. Please, I want, okay, so, congratulations to, or say, George and Abua DCA Sukumado Brimbraka for a good work done by Mr. Enyen Breman Eyimpe no the by. Yeah, other text messages was cover. Please play the June 4 tape again. We want to hear. My daughter is 2 years today. She's Mami Dakwan. I love her. From Seth in Almina and on the by or say don't mind Rollins. Was he able to take away slavery in the military? And on Obisa. See today the MPP is praising President Rollins. Hey, we shall see. Long live the NDC. Kinabut arrived from Akumadan. I'm not an NDC, but I love Honorable Teteshai. Also, the issue of change at the Qatar International Airport is very important. The damage and casualties could have been more if the aircraft had hit the Elwak barracks. Bruce in a diffi airwork at the buy. Yankoni Kotie near Corso Nanameda, El News House or El Bra, Rock Quany doing 7 or buy.
We've got that clip ready, the clip of the original statement that was put out yesterday. I'm going to ask him to play it back for our benefit very shortly. Okay. Yeah, let's play it for the benefit of our viewers and listeners.
It has to do with ECG. It has to do with all those who are responsible for telecasting this match live to the people of Ghana. And so heads are rolling.
Now, Koku, have you been able to get information concerning the problem? What caused the floodlights to go off?
Excellency, the president is upset. We're all upset, and heads are rolling, starting from the ECG regional boss, and everybody down the line who must be affected will be affected. Nathaniel.
Okay,
it's unacceptable. We cannot accept this.
Okay, now if you say that all those who are responsible, then I'm also looking at another very broad picture. Now the stadium, the Babayara Stadium, is under the supervision of the National Sports Authority. So then does it mean that the Director General will also be affected?
Certainly, all those who must have their heads rolled will have their heads rolled. It's unacceptable, and the president is upset.
Has your decision been communicated to all these people, including the ECG regional director for the Ashanti region?
The people of Ghana matter more than those individuals who man those institutions. The people of Ghana matter more to the president than those people who man those institutions. They will have questions to answer, and their heads are rolling. This kind of thing is not acceptable. If we have moved OB vans into Kumasi, and we have moved people into Kumasi, all contingency arrangements should have been made. This is unacceptable, and the president is highly upset. And so those who are in the line of fire will be fired.
Okay, now the decision to suspend the Ashanti Regional ECG Director. Now, when does it take effect? Is it immediately?
Immediately.
And when do you intend to communicate this to him?
Immediately. The President of the Republic is in charge of upholding whatever is in the supreme interest of this republic. These kinds of things have been going on for far too long, and President Mills shall no longer accept these kinds of things. We have one place called Kumasi where a football match is being played. Nothing was done to ensure that this match flows without any hitches. Heads are rolling, and heads will roll.
And I had wanted to ask him other questions about, the persons in the Sports Council et al., whether or not they were also perhaps going to face any sanctions. Because apart from the faux pas that government is dealing with, something embarrassing happened last night that must also be dealt with. Just some news coming in right now live, and I'm finding this out together with all of you live right here. Government has just released a statement on this. I want to read it for your attention before Mr. Edwasari speaks. Government has denied news reports indicating that the president has fired the Ashanti regional manager of the ECG in the wake of difficulties with the floodlights at the Kumasi Stadium last night. The president has given no such directive. It is therefore not true that the ECG boss in the Ashanti region has been fired. Instead, government has directed an investigation to establish the cause of the failure of the floodlights in order for the appropriate corrective measures to be instituted against a recurrence in future. Meanwhile, government sincerely congratulates the Black Stars for their outstanding performance and the massive goal harvest scored against Lesotho last night. The team will continue to enjoy the support of the government to enable the nation, qualify for the next World Cup tournament. It's signed by the Honorable Fritz Bafo, Information Minister, this morning, the 2nd of June 2012. Just coming in, I'm reading it to you. We're finding it out together. They said,
so a day of conflicting stories from government sources. What is the same way? Yeah, na NDC for AB say media for a boss anime and I move go anyone say. But if you are straight from communications to Ministry of Information.
Yeah, Minister for Information, I'm say kata no de abeto abontin no. Eno ne nsema Ghana for e was say ye di ejuma. Na miankasa nokra semni Ebonibeka say I was very, very embarrassed by the statement of Honorable Okuanyido. In fact, Oyobia, my friend say in terms of communication, we're born in but this time no, Sebi, Nyamanku Yamano. Na nyina ye hwe ball ni bi. Na me hwe ball na with TV so. But commentary na joy commentary na BTA. Enti at the time Obaya all can sem no. The first question I asked myself and they say, who controls the floor lights at the stadium? One they control Electricity Company of Ghana and they control floor lights now and I say ECG. Secondly, lights was a stadium honomo. And he said floor lights and the lights and juma. It means a technical problem. And how do you adduce that technical problem to obia or manage electricity in that region as obia or nun or inti na me na ade na ye minya inti later na information ni ba say enya no kwa bia say president no amasa directives no anya me wonwa but ni wu say ye be conduct ye hu say because presidency no say who communicate my presidency na was so making sure say in some would be back out biano in some obia enya lupo ewo afenso say in some a free president in some was say umu bia who say president in na kasa because kasa no kasa any kire say instructions are no wenya every president you know yenya nim say na yes play football yenya very passionate about football or Ghana especially the Blasters ball match and ni esi no touchy on the sensibilities of Ghanaian soccer fans. And to say, even you reducing that tension now, building up as a result of the floodlight failure and no crampua. As a good communicator, no information out there, what's they call out and say, you Uber can't Ghana for now, or more remaining calm. Oh, one dear no. Now, near was a ye biana floodlights, no, as an ebasono, who encourage or more in charge, no. No muntumi enye na ade na enye den embaso and then you apologize for Ghanaians to Ghanaians I think as a good communicator no enu na was a we but you don't attribute bibia obin kan to enipa no especially the president enu de mesre mi nwa no say mo nya sa ade ni bio because once who attributed the statement to the president no say no you put the presidency into disrepute no Udi efi egu president ni ho president na nka bibi saa ba udi egu ni ho se onu na oka saa asem no two enipa na wabo ni din se yeyi na edi no onu nso udi oya obi anase anya sana muka no oya obi ahye ni mu won ade no because he's not committed any crime won ade no to warrant such a statement it mesre say e was say kokwa nkasa won apologize to the friends saying ECG boss no say manager wo
Ashanti Regional East
yeah
omuni a regional director
even there was even not a regional director intuition statement it was from an uninformed position when we there no Mr. Rapa was say apologize and no there was say nyina insist say as a communicator to the presidency no wetima ye BBC to that level, he has to apologize to the president. He has to apologize to the president. That would be extreme. Sebi, info there will be
okay.
But I was also here fata.
Yo, obani me too.
Yo, me da say, say me nua can be brain no, but say enya fe nkwa na also mu. Because yetimi say mpanimfo bu baby say inso tie aponchene a oje de wo. Eye me nua kwakui. Wakeka ensem bibiri ewo omayimu a ebinum na enye nokre nia the most recent ametumi akai e de atawe so ene the limping man asemi ye chi the limping man pe and a Kokuba out. Say, the man is singing, referring to Canada Japan. The man is singing. Nipa beti chiwen. Oh, cocaine, what the Canada Japan on town or boom. Nipa beti chiwen cocaine, dear obobono. A aspirant to be cried, a cow. I will free Obia. The president's spokesperson. Oh, okay, can't somewhere has a baby. Or say they will be the first to be killed. Or the Nanaku for the no penny for more MPP. Satam no crown no more America, just a president, a seminar bureau. Oh, send him a name when you say, and not dear president in any day. Now, on to me in Kahoshe, but wait, dear, see a bay. Koku, Miami will be Meteoto. Oh, now, president, no. If the president, you are of your own self, you are the only president in Ghana, there. Near Beckani says, I say, we did. Memma yen minister Ghana hayet no yet like small village view when information echo out worldwide and the president pass if you are of yourself and you are the only president fire this man.
Thank
because
you.
so good any man pa
you ever see how for text messages last one here phone call Paul Techi writes an email please sorry please read Proverbs 17 1 to 13. And it says, whoever rewards evil for good, evil will not depart from his house. Former President Rawlings must know, period. Kwame Asante defeat Israel. And they bring also another one, Romans 13, 1 and 2. Let every soul be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and authority that exists are appointed by God. Therefore, whoever resists the authority, resists the ordinance of God, and those who resist will bring judgment on themselves. Mr. Martin Amidu, please calm down. You cannot sleep without closing your eyes. Kwame Asante and Israel at the brain. From Amos Amon, or say the constant nodding of the lizard does not mean all is well. The constant preaching of the NDC about the single-digit inflation does not reflect in our pockets. What a shock. President Mills and his NDC are notoriously known for their vain promises and their inordinate pursuit of wealth, contrary to the June 4 values of probity and accountability. Vote for Nanado, vote for the MPP. Amos Amon. Himan Presiano de Ebae. Kaba, please wish Nancy Atuma of Mount Sinai Junior High School in Boga a happy birthday. She's 14 years. And the birthday, Yamin Shano Papa. No, any messages are Ebae. Last batch of text messages 1760 Nafi Yemfanyuna. Okay, I'm saying, no.
But before, me wish me bano, a queer among question, Makutajima. And then the birthday. They are not so cool. Today is your birthday. June 4th. I'll say, Daddy, what's happening? What happened on June 4th? On Thursday. Okay, I had the best. I wish you the best.
Is the other last year, the man or our question about member of parliament?
That's right.
You, Amankwa Ajiman is Yama, and your birthday, Papa say. Your birthday from Koma. If you want to watch happy birthday. What if you say
9?
Okay. Something I say the Emma Ora 2 floors Tetashai, Mashibe Jani, the Ma Ablekuma Central. Your corner bank more I say the bro. It a billboard bet to us so.